Hey everybody, Brock Frady here, helping you enjoy your ride. In today's video, we're going to take a look at this beautiful 2023 Honda CRV Hybrid Sport Touring. Since it's a touring model, it's got all the goodies, and we're going to take a look at all of those in this video. Then we're going to take it on a drive. But before we get started, I want to say a huge thank you to Impex Auto Sales in Greensboro, North Carolina for the opportunity to film this beautiful CRV. I'll be sure to leave all of Impex Auto Sales contact information, including their website, in the description box below. As far as the physical dimensions from the old body style CRV, because of course this is a complete redesign, it was redesigned in 2023, it is basically the same size. It only varies in a little bit longer, and it just not even really much worth mentioning as far as the dimensional differences in size. But you can see that the exterior is a whole lot different in this thing. You can see the back here, those big, fat, beautiful lights, tail lights in the back. Everything is LED. I love the dual tip exhaust. That's beautiful. You can see CRV Hybrid Touring Sport on the back there. Those black wheels, which are indicative of the sport model, that's running on Michelin 235 55R 19 tires right now. And of course it has front disc and rear disc brakes. You can also see that you have silver garnish right here around the entire window area. That makes it have a nice little look. One of the nice things here is that you have a capless fuel system right here. You can see all you do, as long as the doors are unlocked, you can just push that and it pops open, and there's no cap. There's like a nice little guard here that whenever you close it, this wraps around the fuel filler there, but there is no cap. It's kind of nice. It feels kind of weird going and putting gas in it though. Something nice to get used to. The paint color on this thing is absolutely gorgeous. Of course, you have hands-free system here for entering and exiting or locking the vehicle. You have LED turn signals integrated into the mirrors. Of course, lane assist, and that lets you know when somebody is in the lane so that you don't turn into them. Headlights, very nice, nicely integrated into that beautiful new front end design. Everything is LED, of course. Then you have these beautiful little pieces here. They're not really functional, but it just makes it look nice. You also have a little bit of an air curtain here, and that is a functional piece right there. And Honda says that that's for fuel efficiency. I don't know how it's going to be much more fuel efficient with that, but if Honda says it, it must be true. You also have sensors in the front that beep if you get too close to something. Of course, you have all the radar cruise control and lane keep assist and all of these things in this thing because it is the touring. It is super upgraded, but I think all of the lane keep and radar cruise are pretty much standard nowadays. Let's hop around to the back and take a look at this back door. This is actually super easy to use. You can go up to it and you can stand here and kick as long as the key is on your person and it's going to open. Notice that didn't take a lot of kicking. Early systems with that technology were pretty clunky, but that worked really well. 60/40 split rear seat that does fold. It also reclines, so you can see that there's a tab here. You can just pull that up and the seat will recline nicely for you right there. Floor mats are all back here in the back. 2 LED lights so that whenever you're trying to access your stuff at night, it's nice and good. You can also customize the height setting for this back door. This is about as high as it gets. See, I'm pushing it up a little bit. So it's not like a really tall door, but that's no problem. It's really good. Then you have a manual close here. You can close it here or you can close it with your key fob, and that's it for the rear door. There is a camera that is integrated into the back right here, and you can see here that this is all-wheel drive. There's your nice wiper, and I love the dual ports there for your exhaust. Taking a quick look at the back seat here, nice and spacious. It's actually not hugely spacious if a 6-footer is driving, but here's your back seat. All the elements, you know, it's not leather, it's, you know, kind of like a leather-ish, but it has a good feel to it. It feels nice and firm, nice and durable, so I think this is going to be pretty rugged for you for the long run. Lightning ports right there to where you can plug in your Apple devices. Then you have a little bit of an outlet for your rear air, armrest, and that's going to be the back seat. Now here under the hood is a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine. It does not have turbo like the non-hybrid version because it doesn't need it, because you also have 2 electric motors in this one because it's all-wheel drive. The thing I love about the engine with the CVT transmission combination in this CRV is that it is totally seamless. I have yet to drive a hybrid vehicle that is as seamless as the transmission engine interface exchange handoff is in this thing. In other words, when you're sitting at a stoplight and you're in electricity because the engine is off, when you push the accelerator down and the engine activates, you cannot even feel it. It's absolutely incredible. So it doesn't feel like a clunky, like a little bit of a hit from a traditional gas engine when it cuts on. I love the way this setup works. Let's take a look at it real quick. So here you are. Here's your little engine that could. And again, the setup is absolutely fabulous. The drive of this thing is really, really good. Really smooth. That CVT does really nice. And the beauty of this thing also is that it has more torque than horsepower. It has 204 horsepower, but whenever you mash on it, you can really feel that torque. And it doesn't feel like you're in a tin can, the engine is struggling and everything. It does really, really well. To use the key for the Honda CRV, pretty simple. Of course, it's a keyless operation, so as long as you have this on your person, you can operate the car completely. You can see lock on top, unlock below that. Below that is remote start, that's the circle. Then you have your rear liftgate right here on the right of that, and then hold is the panic alarm. There's a little button right there, and that's going to be used to remove the key that's inside the key fob in the event that you need to change the battery in this, because it is battery operated. So right now the doors are all locked, so as you approach the CRV, all you do is that and it unlocks the door. Then when you're done using the CRV, you can see these little dimples right here, the little marks. You just touch that and the doors lock. Getting into the CRV is really, really nice. Since this one is the Sport, it's got the black interior with the orange integrated stripes with the stitching here. That's really nice. You can see that the seats are bolstered really well. You have the ribbed textured material here. Then you have the same stitching here on the steering wheel. That gives it a little bit of a more luxurious look. I like the cabin. It's kind of small, but it's everything is well placed and easy to use. Then you have your windows here with lock and unlock, mirror control, memory seat system, a little bit of a kind of a pattern material here that's nice. There's really no wood grain inside of it, but it's not supposed to be because it's a sport trim. Then you have your power rear door button here, traction control off, and then I love this honeycomb look with the vents there, and then you can just turn them this way and up and down. That's a really nice look there. I love that design. Let's hop in and take a look at the interior. Now inside the CRV, the cabin is compact. It's Everything is really well laid out. I especially like the screen, your multi-information display. The way that works, it's efficient, it's not in the way, and it's nice and small. Everything is good with that. The one thing I do not like about this vehicle so far is the driver's seat. And that is really unfortunate because that's where you spend all your time. The driver's seat is hard. And I could tell within about 5 minutes of driving this thing, it was like, oh wow, this seat's going to be tough to take a long trip in. And that's really, really unfortunate because this car is absolutely fabulous. Other than that, it's like 10 out of 10. The performance, the stereo, it's got a Bose stereo, and the thing will absolutely thump. But unfortunately, the driver's seat is not that comfortable. And I have tried to mess with it and arrange it and do the lumbar and all that stuff, and it's honestly, it's pretty uncomfortable. So if you get into this thing and you think the driver's seat is comfortable, perfect, wonderful, that's a great thing. This is just my personal opinion. I like the way the steering wheel is laid out. I like actually also the way the steering wheel controls are. The way the volume and everything, and the cruise radar cruise control, the heated steering wheel function, all of it, everything is really easy to use, easy to understand. And let's take a look at that from the driver's perspective now. So let's turn this baby on. I have my foot on the brake and I just press the power button here and everything fires right up. That's a nice display, nice greeting. Everything is well in its place and easy to see. On the left side of the steering wheel are going to be your audio controls, home button, and for stereo and whatnot. On the right side is going to be your cruise control and your things that handle all things radar cruise, lane keeping assist, all that, cancel and reset or set. And then right here is your shifting. Even though it has a continuous variable transmission, you still have paddle shifters. You upshift on the right and you downshift on the left. That's an interesting thing. Then right here is going to be your turn signal stalk and your headlight stalk. You can see that you have auto right there. I recommend leaving that in auto all the time because your headlights will cut on automatically at night. Then right here you have another auto, and that is automatic rain sensing wipers. And you can see here, this is, you turn this up and down in accordance with the rain pattern. If you have your windshield wipers on, this is going to be for your rear wiper. And I want you to see something that I noticed that stuck out to me. Let's see if it sticks out to you. I'm going to do an auxiliary wipe right here. So let's say you come out to your car and it's not raining, but it had been raining and there's a little bit of rain on the windshield. Watch how fast this happens. It's like it flicks it. It wants to throw the rain off. Watch. That's kind of a cool little design you got there, Honda. The display here is really, really nice. It's all digital except the analog hand for the miles per hour. That's an interesting take. You can see here that you have home. So I'm going to press that, and that takes us over here to a menu. And then I can roll up and down using the dial beside the home button, and I can go phone, nav, driver attention, all-wheel drive, seat belts, maintenance, safety. And so you can see all the different things, and that is a lot. Here is what I have been doing while I have been driving. I have had it on power flow so that I can see how the engine is working with the battery level. And I like to use this one because I love to hypermile, and I like to try to maximize the miles per gallon that I'm getting, and that screen allows me to do that. Going through all of the screens, you can see there is a ton here that you can do. So there's phone, that's going to be Bluetooth, and navigation, and it lets you basically do a lot there. I can actually hit navigation again and then go menu and see. So there's a lot of cool stuff there. Driver attention, all-wheel drive torque distribution. That lets you see where power is going to your wheels. So it's a lot of cool stuff. I like safety support. So that tells you what it's seeing, what's going on safety-wise. Then right here on your dash is going to be all of your controls for your climate system. I really like this because it's heated seats, climate system all integrated, and it's easy. There's only 3 dials, and then there's off and on, and you do have dual zone climate control. You can see it's synced right now at 68 degrees. Heated seat is on. That's nice. It does not have ventilated seats, which I don't know why, but it just doesn't. Then right here is your wireless charging for your device. And then there is our outlets here for your devices there as well. It does have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. That's really nice. Right here in your center cluster, you have drive mode. And then whenever you push these up, it makes a beep. And I'm going to show you what is being shown on the dash right now. So I press drive mode up and it goes sport. I'm pressing it down for normal, economy, snow, and so those are your drive modes. Sport is and this is basically going to control throttle mapping, the gear, the quote gear that it starts off in, because it's not a multi-gear transmission, it's CVT. So if you're in snow, it's going to start off slower for less torque to prevent wheel slippage, and when you're in sport, more torque for fun. Then there's downhill assist, and then parking brake and brake hold. brake hold will keep you at a stop even when you're in drive. Like you come up to a stoplight, if brake hold is activated, you can take your foot off the brake and it will maintain the hold until the light turns green. You tap the gas and go. A couple of cup holders here, and then your center console there. And then here is going to be your multi-information display. So for your multi-information display, I just pressed home. You can see it says all apps, nav, phone, FM, Bluetooth, Apple CarPlay, PowerFlow, Sirius XM, and then all of this, and then all of this. That is a ton. So that's why I recommend getting into this thing and learning it, playing with all of this when you first get one of these so that you can understand how it all works. All apps is going to take you to a list of apps. Navigation is here. And so there's your nav system. I like the Apple CarPlay setup a whole lot better than that. Then there's phone, then you can go FM, and it will take you to your FM station. I wish there was a dial to tune or to seek your stations. It would be easy to just put a dial right here, and that way you would not have to use these buttons, because that makes it harder. I don't like that setup, but that's just me. So then you can go tune, station, or scan and station list, and then you can see here are a lot of different little shortcuts as well. And then Bluetooth audio or Apple CarPlay. I love Apple CarPlay because you can just do a whole bunch. And this is, you know, a list of music right here. And then there's Spotify. So I can go home, and then PowerFlow. This is so neat. I was showing you this on the dash there just a second ago, but this is like a much more detailed version of the dash. The little thing that's on the dash. So you can see here on the right side it has our range. That's the range that's going to be on the tank. The engine just cut on, so now you can see it's sending power to the battery to charge it. And then you can see here current drive. So these are going to be flexing and moving based on your driving condition. And then you'll see green lines and then lines going out into the wheels. These represent the wheels, the tires. And so I like to have this display on a lot so that I can maximize my fuel efficiency. It's just kind of a reminder to be fuel efficient. The engine just cut off, and you can see that right there. That's a really neat thing. There's XM radio, and then general settings and vehicle settings. So this is where you're going to want to come and to spend a little bit of time setting up the CRV, your Honda, exactly the way you want it to be. So I would recommend just going page by page and going in and getting them all set up exactly the way you want to do it. It's nice, it's easy, it's efficient. Vehicle settings, that was general settings, and then this is vehicle settings. So you can see here, this is really neat because you can hit keyless access setup, and then you can basically use these settings here to determine how your keyless access interacts with the vehicle itself. So neat. Lockout protection, and then it gives you a brief description of what the feature actually does. Very, very cool. And then hitting back. Door unlock mode, it's driver door only. So in other words, whenever you walk up, you have the key fob on your person and you touch the door handle. Right now, only the driver's door is going to unlock. And then you've got that page, and you've got that other page right there of all vehicle settings. Predictive Eco Boost. That's neat. That's really, really cool stuff. I love it. And it's easy to work. The reason that I love it is just because it makes it easy to work. And so smart shortcuts. This is so neat. This basically allows you, the vehicle, to begin to learn your habits based on your listening, nav, and call history and preferences. The vehicle will learn and continue to improve over time. That is so very cool. I love that. And then you've got your volume button here, basically in general. And that's kind of just a quick overview of your multi-information display. So it's a list view of the way this works. Navigation is here, and so there's your nav system. I like the Apple CarPlay setup a whole lot better than that. Then there's phone, then you can go FM, and it will take you to your FM station. Now behind the wheel of the 2023 CRV Hybrid Sport Touring, it's a delight. The power, the way the transmission delivers the power is really clean. I'm going to turn here, and we're going to get out on the highway so that we can get a feel for what it feels like on the open road. Right now we are in sport mode, and that is by a little selector down here that I showed you earlier. So I'm going to kick it here. That's 67, and that was nice. You could tell that even though it has a continuous variable transmission, it sounded like it was changing gears. The wind noise is a little bit, but it's not uncomfortable to be having a conversation with somebody. Right now I'm going 66. I'm going to set the cruise control, so you just press this button here and then you press set, and now the cruise control is taken over. I'm going to bump it up to 70 because in this area it is 65, and so now I'm also going to cut on the lane support, and so now it's going to be able to sense the lines on the road. I can feel the lane mitigation kind of keeping me inside the lane here. That's a good sensation. You can see that, see? I'm gonna get over here and I'm gonna show you the radar cruise. So right now, there's a little indicator right here in the center of the dash, and it can see the vehicle in front of me. They're braking, but see, my foot is not on the gas or the brake right now. Because I have the radar cruise control, it can determine the distance between me and the vehicle in front of me, and it's going to apply the brakes as necessary. So right now, even though my cruise is set at 65 or 70, it's keeping me at this distance between me and the person in front of me, which happens to be another CRV. Pretty nice. So I'm going to get off here, and I'm going to see which way these folks are going to go because it's still sensing. And remember, my cruise control is set at 70, but since the radar cruise is activated, it's going to keep me at a maintained distance, and it's full speed radar cruise control. Again, my feet are flat on the floor. I have not touched the brake. Isn't that a cool feature? So it's going to bring me to a complete stop right now. Just as smooth as silk. And my foot has not touched the brake or the gas. So we're going to wait until this light turns green, and then we're going to press resume, the plus button. So this little toggle right here on the, see that? I'm not touching the gas. So it's maintaining the distance for me. Now there's a stoplight ahead, there's nobody ahead of me. So, oh, look, this person's getting back in front. No problem, because I have radar cruise. And so now we're just cruising along. That's the thing I like about the way this operates, is it's easy to operate. You have a little bit of a toggle here. Now here's the thing I do recommend though. I have a lot of experience working radar cruise systems in all kinds of cars. So it's pretty easy to me. I would recommend, before trying to use it like I'm using it right now, that you practice it, because it does take some getting used to. You have to be very mindful. If you're in front of or a vehicle is in front of you, then it is going to maintain the distance. If there's not a vehicle in front of you and you come up to a stoplight, it's not going to stop. So it only stops itself based on the fact that there is a vehicle in front of you. So you have to be mindful of that. Now, I'm in sport mode. We're going to go down here to normal mode, And so now it should require me to push the accelerator down a little bit further in order to achieve speed. If the AC were on, then and you actually go to econ mode, then the AC is going to pull back a little bit. It's going to reduce it so that it can appropriate that power in order for to try to achieve more fuel consumption or fuel efficiency. So we're in econ mode right now. Me personally, I will probably, if I had this vehicle, I would drive it 9 times out of 10 in econ mode. Here's the reason. The same amount of power is available in econ mode as it is normal mode, as it is sport mode. You can have the same amount of power. However, it's the delivery of the power that changes. So it's going to take you longer to achieve speed in econ mode than it is in sport mode. I hope that makes sense. But to me, that is a fine thing to deal with because of the fact that I'm saving on fuel, and it uses econ mode utilizes more of the battery and less of the engine, and so to me I can get better fuel economy in econ mode, and that's what this vehicle is for, in my opinion, because it's a hybrid. Now we're going to do a little bit of city driving, kind of bumper to bumper traffic, not bumper to bumper really because it's a Sunday and there's not much traffic on the road, but you can get an idea for this because I think this is going to be a lot of what the driving consists of with someone that's going to buy a hybrid version of this for the fuel economy, because it's a little bit more fuel efficient in the city than it is on the highway. Braking is good, nice and responsive, smooth, clean, all is well. I can still feel the lane mitigation system kind of steering me. You can kind of see the steering wheel moving around a little bit, and you will get a warning if you leave your hand off the wheel, which I do not recommend. But if you leave your hand off the wheel, there will be a indicator, orange indicator here in the tachometer area that says, hey, grab the wheel, you knucklehead. And so this is kind of just like the city driving aspect. Of course, there's less road noise right now than there is on the highway, but it feels really nice. You really can't even hear the engine. And here is another thing. I mentioned this on the overview whenever we were talking about the engine, is the way the continuous variable transmission and the engine hand off to each other is absolutely seamless. Honda has done something very nice with this. All the other hybrid vehicles that I have driven, whenever you go out of electricity and into electric and engine, you feel a slight bump, and where that handoff is. In this one, it is literally nothing. You cannot feel a thing, and it's a thing of beauty. I absolutely love it, and that was something that I recognized immediately when I got into this thing, because that's something I actually look for in a hybrid vehicle, to see which brand is going to make that handoff seamless. And Honda has done a really, really good job with making it not even feel like you can't even tell the engine has cut on, and that's a fantastic feature. All right, everybody, that's going to do it for our look at the 2023 Honda CRV Hybrid Touring Sport. I hope you have enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it for you. Make sure you give it a big fat thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. But remember, the most important thing, have a wonderful day, everybody.